Hello and welcome to Miracles, Music and Pop Rains. I am Sue London. I'm really grateful and happy and excited to have you with me today because this show is special for you from your loved one. There's a lot of people this time of year that are reflecting on what they don't have or who they don't have. They may be missing a loved one. You may be reflecting on what you had in your memories and you no longer have. And I'm here to remind you today that you are not alone, that your loved one is still with you, and that they have not left you, and they are going to continue to be with you. And I'm going to share with you what they want you to do. And I'm going to give you some tools to help you with this. And I'm also going to share a song that I have channeled, the music as well as the lyrics, and it's called You Are Never Alone. And if you're new to this podcast, I want to explain some things about this show that makes it special. I do not take full credit of what you hear or what comes out of each episode. Just before I even started today, the other side decided, no, you're going to do it this way. And they did crazy things to my technology. So as I'm recording this, it's going to be interesting what unfolds. You might be hearing voices that it's not mine. I don't know what to expect. But what happens is that how this came to fruition is that I was having dreams that I had to create podcasts that was going to share the miracles, the stories that I've experienced with myself, with my loved ones, with clients, their stories they've shared with me, without, again, going into their privacy, and share music that is channeled through me. What started out to help me has helped thousands around the world now. So there's a song that I play. There's a message that I share every week. And the other side, your loved one has decided that this week I have to share the song You Are Never Alone and help you to understand that you are not alone. So each episode is channeled through. It comes through me as I'm talking to you. I try and write a script to stay on track time-wise, but as I get everything all ready on the teleprompter, the other side totally wipes it right off. It's like, go, let us do our thing, Sue, through you. So this is kind of what happens with my show. So I'm so grateful that you're here, because if you're here, it means you need to hear this message at this time. So I hope that something I'm going to say is going to help to bring you comfort, give you peace, and know that you are so loved and supported, and you've got so many loved ones and angels around you that I hope that after you listen to this going forward, you will never feel alone ever again. I want to start off with sharing that I get it, what you experience if you're watching this and you're feeling really lonely or you're feeling sad and you don't think anyone's with you. But I want to assure you that when you are in a state of missing a loved one, and that loved one was very special to you, and you think, oh gosh, that they're gone and I'm all alone and I don't have them with me anymore. Well, I want to kind of help you to change those words and thoughts in your mind to he or she is still with you, but she is with you in a different form. You have together this new adventure, but it's in a different way, in a different form. Okay. Your loved one has become your angel now. Your loved one is guiding you or wanting to guide you, to support you, and they want you to be happy. They want you to know that they might have been sick before they crossed, but they are no longer sick. They are no longer in pain. They are happy. They are healthy. They are whole again. They love life. Now, the one thing, how do I know this? Because I personally have had 2 near-death experiences in my life. The first time I was 21, and the second time I was 34. The first time I had an allergy against anesthetic, and the medical team forgot to write it down. They gave me anesthetic, and then I crossed over, and they were able to revive me. And the second time I had Crohn's disease, and my intestine burst. And while waiting in the waiting room at the emergency department, it burst. And they said I had 30 minutes to live. But then, just as they asked me who I wanted to say goodbye to, I asked for my dog, and then I could feel my soul coming out of my body and going to the other side. So I know what the other side is like. And I can tell you that when your loved one crossed, they did not feel the pain. Their body became lighter. It became painless. And there was no anger, there was no resent, there was no fear. There was just this pure love that fills your body as you cross. And you feel this support and joy. And for me, it was something that I had never ever experienced before. And the second time, in fact, it was so special to me, and at a place where it wasn't so good for me at that time. The second time, I wanted to stay. But when it's not our time, we get sent back. And for me, I got sent back. And I was told that I had to help millions of people and pets cope, heal, and move forward. And this is what I've been doing now for millions of people around the world. And so, when your loved one crossed, they crossed because they had come, each person comes, each pet comes with this role that you're going to meet the right people, you're going to learn lessons, you're going to be there for others, you're going to be a teacher, you're going to be a student to others. Okay. And then when you've done what you're supposed to do in this life, that is when we cross. And sometimes it's so sad when a child crosses, but they leave such an imprint of lessons that they teach. And I know this because I've done a lot of work doing pet therapy at the Kids Children's Hospital. And I'm with the children till the end. And they asked me specifically to ensure the parents that they're going to be okay and that they're going to be there. And the parents later will say they feel things and things happen. So no matter what the age is, I know it's hard. I know it's really hard when you lose your loved one and you think, why? Well, that when you look at this bigger dimension in the world, the universe, each one of us comes for a reason. We're here to learn and we're here to grow and do all this, like I was saying. And sometimes you think it's really bad. I've lost my loved one. I never want to lose them. But I can assure you, when it is your time, they will meet you and help you cross over. But in the meantime, you're here and they're back with you. They're there with you. They're listening to you. They see your sadness. They see you longing for them again. And they're there and they're like, but I'm right here, hon. I'm right here, sweetheart. And just tell me what it is you need. And I can tell you, every client I work with, that same message comes through for them, whether their loved one is crossed or their pet. Each pet or person wants their loved one that's there, so that would be you, to say what it is you want or what it is you need, okay? And so they don't want you to be grieving. They want you to live life, their life as you have it now, and they no longer have it. That is not possible for them at this point. So they want you to celebrate their life and live for you and live for them and have nice trips and have fun with friends, having coffee at a coffee shop or going out for meals or being out in nature and doing all this stuff. But they want you to know they're right there with you. They did their thing, they crossed over, they did what they had to do, and they come back. And now they're waiting for you to say, okay, what is it I can help you with? They're your angel now. And I've had so many experiences, personal experiences myself, of how my loved ones have created miracles in my life. And right away with this podcast is a result of me having dreams of exactly what I am supposed to say what songs I'm supposed to play with what topic, and they tell me exactly the date when it is supposed to play. So this segment, if you found it, this is your loved one who has come to me and asked me to say what I am saying today. It is channeling through messages for you. Okay. So if you're thinking, I'm alone, no one gets me, I don't understand, I understand. I was very, very close in my life to my grandpa Buck. I was an only child. My grandpa was my best friend. He was my teacher. He was my soulmate. He was everything, my sunshine. He was my hero. And I was a strong-willed Sagittarius child, also be called by many stubborn. But my grandpa Buck could always, always get through to me. And near the end, he was preparing me for his crossing, as many of our loved ones do, because they know when it's coming, a lot of them. Not everybody, but a lot. And he was telling me things that didn't make sense at the time, but he was telling me, you have to use your abilities and you take after me. And he was telling me these things, and I didn't know. Unfortunately, as a child, he never told me that I would see, feel, and hear the other side, even though I was having that happen. But I had to go through this journey of figuring it all out. But he always made it clear how much he loved the song Amazing Grace. And what he would do after he crossed, at the exact time he crossed, I sat up and I woke up. And I thought, something's gone. I just lost something, but I didn't put it together. And then in my mind, I saw his face. And I just said, Grandpa Buck, oh my gosh, you're gone. The connection that we had was so really strong. And I became really angry with him. I was mad that he left me, because it was just 6 months later that I was getting married. And I thought, how dare you leave me? You're not supposed to go. You're my best friend. You're supposed to share this with me. Does this sound familiar? Kind of some of these emotions you've experienced? So for me, I was spending time focusing on, you're not here for me. And I didn't want you to leave me. And I was focusing on that loss, that I don't have my best friend anymore to talk to and to laugh with and have these experiences. And I was missing the messages, the signs, the guidance he was bringing me, because I was focusing on loss. So I get you. If you're watching this and you're feeling that sadness and you're thinking, Sue, you don't get me. I do get you. I get you more than you know. And I can tell you that your loved one doesn't want you to be sad. They want you to celebrate them. They want you to become aware of signs that they're bringing you. So you're thinking, okay, sure. What signs are there, Sue? So let me tell you. When you are, say, having a quiet moment, in order to become aware of the things that are surrounding you and their messages and signs, you have to be in the present moment. That's the first thing. You can't be focusing on your grief, your loss, your sadness. So take that few moments just to go, okay, I'm just going to celebrate my loved one. Oh gosh, we had such a good time together. Oh, I can feel you. You're with me. I know you're here. You may not know, but you can just trust. And I'm telling you this, so just for now, go with it, that I'm telling you they're there, okay? And then in time, you will start having things happen that you will experience them. And if you find that after a time, or maybe now, after you hear me talking to you, if you want to book a consultation with me, I can help you even deeper with your personal situation. But what you can do, and I do this every day, I start my day, I'm up about 5:36 in the morning, and my dogs get beside me, and I'm doing Reiki on them, and we're having a quiet time, and the house is quiet, and I start talking to my loved ones. And I get guidance, what I'm supposed to do in that day, where I'm supposed to go, and who I'm supposed to meet, and who I'm supposed to call or follow up with, check out, or whatever I'm supposed to do. And So at that time, I will say what it is I need. And I can have my grandpa come. I have 7 dogs on the other side. They're there. I've got so many ancestors and loved ones there. I have got clients' pets. I've got clients' loved ones there, and I've got future ones that are sending me their loved ones. So it's quite a busy time for me in the first thing in the morning. And while I'm sitting in that quiet time, and my loved ones are there, the temperature in my space gets cool. Okay, it gets really cool. It gets so cold that I can turn my house up to 78 degrees Fahrenheit and I'm still cold. Drives my husband crazy. He gets me though, God bless this man, but I am so cold. And when you have loved ones with you, angels, spirits, your pets, your loved ones, the temperature will change. It gets cool. It can be very cold, depending on how sensitive you are to energy. So that's number one. You can feel temperature change. Okay. So if you're saying, oh, I got menopause and I feel hot and I feel cold, it's because you got so many spirits and loved ones around you that's what you're feeling more than anything. And that's what their loved ones give me those messages to share with them. So that's number one. Temperature can change. Number two, your lights can be flashing on and off in your space. I had a very special lady in my life. Her name was Mrs. Carroll. She was a neighbor. She was like a mom to me. She had 8 children, great family. I was an only child. It was like I wished I was part of that family. When Mrs. Carroll, before she crossed, she had asked her children to make sure that I knew that she had crossed. This one particular day, I was sitting in our family room. We owned a side split house. And I looked up into the kitchen, and at that exact moment, the lights on the fan, the fan that's over the stove, there's a light, and it was flashing on and off, flashing on and off, on and off, on and off. And then it stopped. And right away, I thought of Mrs. Carroll, and I saw her and I felt her. And she had come to say goodbye to me. And then about 10 minutes later, the phone rang and it was one of her daughters. And Gail had told me that Mama just crossed. And I said, I know. She came to me to say goodbye. And it was such a real touching experience for not just me, but for all of her kids to know that she'd come to say goodbye to me and that there was more, that she didn't take her last breath and that was it. She was communicating from the other side. So if you have lights flashing in your space, it's not bad electricity. Okay. Don't rule that out. If sometimes like dimmer switches, yes, that there can be an issue with it flashing. We've had that in our house, but when your lights just turn on and off, or like light bulbs, like they can be flashing. And then we had this just at Christmas. There was a light bulb, Christmas Day exactly, a light bulb in our dining room was flashing. And we thought, okay, great, we got to change this light bulb. And what happened, I was being guided to go to my phone to check email, and there was a lady that she needed to have a session with me right away. And so I worked with her on Boxing Day and helped her through that, but I did answer her immediately before I got our Christmas dinner cooked. So that light bulb was her dog actually coming to me, help my mom, help my mom. And I fit her into my schedule and changed some things to get her in right away because her pet said she needed help right away. And again, that's me listening to that guidance I get. So if you have lights flashing, you're being given guidance. You're being given a sign that maybe your loved one or someone has just crossed, or that you might be sitting there thinking, I'm all alone. And then all of a sudden a light flashing. Okay, so when you have that happen, who comes to your mind? Be aware of that, because when you have that person come to your mind, that's your person telling you that, hey, I am here. Okay. One of the things that happened to me, well, I actually have two. I have had two near-death experiences. And when I came back the second time, I was told that I would have somebody at my side who would be with me to help others. And when I was sent back, I was told I had to help people and pets cope, heal, and move forward. And So here I am, and I'm being told I'm going to have this person help me. So fast forward, the man I married when my grandpa crossed turned out to be Mr. Wrong. And then I spent 5 years working on myself, and then I met my soulmate. And that will be a future episode that you're going to love. But the time is not right because the other side's already told me to share that in February. So that's coming. Anyways, this man, Ross, my future husband, now husband of 25 years, we always get guided to go somewhere. And we listen and we go, and we're always sent to help a person or pet. And even though we've been to Hawaii, we've been to many great places, I remember that trip as who we helped and the miracle that happened. And this has been going on in our relationship for 25 years. So it's just incredible. But the one story I want to tell you quickly was that we were sent to go to Las Vegas. And when we went, we got a phone call to go to Las Vegas. And I thought, you know what? We're not partiers. We don't drink. We don't smoke. We don't gamble. And you can only sightsee for so long, but to go for a whole week, we had just been in Hawaii 6 months earlier. And that really wasn't something that in our minds is comparable because we like that spiritual outdoor nature feel that Hawaii had. And we thought, no, we won't go. But then I kept hearing, no, Stu, say yes, say yes, yes, say yes, 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 yes. So I said to Ross, we have to take this trip. And then we took the trip. And I also heard before we finished doing the booking that we were to take our 11-year-old daughter. And I thought, this is crazy. And Ross is like, why would we take her there? That this is not a place for kids. And I said, I don't know. We have to just trust that God, his angels, loved ones, we're supposed to do something on this trip, and maybe it involves her. Long story short, we were given tickets on the third day to go for this dinner, this show, and there was something else that was with it. So I knew that was going to be part of whatever the bigger picture, bigger plan from the other side was on. And so Ross would say, what time are we supposed to go? Because we'd gone through this enough times and he knew that this was going to be something big. And so I said, well, we can go now. We have to go right now. So we were standing in line and we had the dinner and we were standing in line for the dinner, I should say. And I felt somebody watching me. And you just feel like someone's looking at you. And I turned around and there was this man by himself. He was an older man. He was in his late 70s and he looked very sad, but he kept looking at me. And then he turned to Ross and he said, I'm so sorry I was staring at your wife. She's got such beautiful eyes. And you're just such a lucky man. You've got a beautiful family. And I just hope you know how lucky you are. So I leaned into Ross. I said, you got to invite this man for dinner. He's the reason why we're here. So Ross says, I always get this look, and he knows that, before I even say anything, that he's got something he has to do as part of his role in this. So he said to the man, look, I see you're alone. Would you join us for dinner? We'd like to have company in that. And he hesitated, thinking he was intruding. And we were like, no, we like meeting new people. So he sat with us and we were talking. And as we were sitting down, I saw this woman on the other side sit beside him. And she started talking through me to him and asking him questions. And I knew that this is something that we were to help him to cope and to heal with. And so I asked him, if you had one wish, what would that be? And he said he wished he could make his 11-year-old granddaughter a Sunday, but she lived on the other coast. And because of that, it was too far for him to travel at his age and where his health was. So at that point, our 11-year-old daughter that was with us got up and went and made that Sunday with him. And we were all crying and just so grateful that we could be a part of helping this man in one of his darkest days. And so he came back and they were laughing and this child of ours came back with so much candy on top of this Sunday. This is stuff that we don't have in our house. And she was just loving every bit of it, but she also knew she was part of a bigger plan herself, right? So then we were sitting again and I said to the man that's alone, And he started crying and he said, this is one of the hardest days of my life. And I feel like I've been sent angels, meeting you people. And that he shared his wife had crossed over 3 months earlier and he was holding her hand as she was preparing to cross. And one of her final words were that sentences were, you have to take that same trip. Go for me on our trip. They take a trip every year for 38 years, stayed in the same casino, same room, and here she was expecting him to do that. And that's what he was doing. And it was the hardest moments for him because he couldn't stop thinking about her and longing for her. And he was lonely and sad. And God and his wife had sent us to him to help him. We were talking and sharing, and I gave him messages. And I knew it was time we could go. And we got up and each of us gave him this really big hug and said, remember, you are always loved and you're never alone. And he cried, and he just said that he never felt so much love and he knew that he was going to be okay. But that situation had to happen in Las Vegas for some reason. Maybe because he was at that point where asking her to help me to feel you or something that brought us to him. So, God, his angels, and your loved ones make these situations come up to put you into the right place. So when you're grieving over the loss of your loved one, you're missing all of these opportunities. And you might be sitting there thinking, I've lost my loved one. I don't have a job. I don't have this. I don't have that. Meanwhile, your loved one is sitting there and they want you to tell them what it is you want, what it is you need. And you can't say, I want you back, because they're already there, but in a different form. Okay? So take some time each day in a quiet time and ask them, I need help with this. I need not to feel alone. I need to find a job, or I need to make a new friend or do new activities or whatever it is that you need. And then what will happen is you'll have thoughts come to you, or you'll hear, get in your car and go here. And you'll go there and you'll meet the right person with the answer or the job offer, or you'll read something on a community board that has your answer. That answer you need will be there, and they will take you through that process to follow those steps. But you've got to take action, because when they do this, it's timely. So if you don't take the action right away, you can miss that person you're supposed to meet no longer be there, right? So that's important for you to be there. Also, the other side can urge you, like really give you this strong pull. You need to turn on music or turn on your radio. And so when you're having that feeling that you need to do that, do it then, because they're guiding you with bringing you a message through the words in the lyrics of the song. Okay, that has happened so many times. For me, what happens with my Grandpa Buck is I smell smoke. And when I smell smoke, I don't know if there's a fire. And God bless my husband Ross. 25 years I've said this, is this a fire in the house? And he says, no, it's Grandpa Buck. And I'm so loving doing canning, like making pickled beets and applesauce, and I do so much stuff. And I feel my grandmothers and my great grandmothers and my great great grandmothers with me in the kitchen as I'm doing this. So I can just feel their energy. So they can come through scent, they can come through song, they can come through flashing lights, through the temperature change. I do have a book called Signs from Your Beloved Pet. Those are the same signs that your loved ones will bring as well. So that book is on my website at asksuelondon.com. Now, I want to at this time share a song that it channeled through me at a very difficult time in my life. And I thought it was just for me, but it has gone on to help so many people. And at the time, it was actually October 22nd, 2024, I was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. And I was told by the doctors that I had 2 weeks to live if they didn't do something fast. And a week later, they operated on me and they said I was inoperable. They couldn't operate. And so here I am, what is this now, 14 months later, and I'm feeling great and I'm feeling stronger and I'm here and I'm alive. And every day I take the guidance from my loved ones and from God and from my angels and from my pets. And so this song came out of me to help me to know that I'm not alone on that journey. And there was a higher purpose. And that higher purpose was the other side needed to get me to settle down, slow down, so that I could know that I had this ability of channeling music and lyrics. And now these songs are making a difference for so many in cancer hospitals and sick kids hospital. I do sing-alongs that I channel as well for the kids. So check all that out on my website. But in the meantime, I want to play right now a song. It's called You Are Never Alone. Listen to the words because these words were channeled especially for you from your loved one. So here we go. This is the song You Are Never Alone. And I'll be right back after that with more.
When the night feels heavy and your heart starts to ache, when the road feels endless, more than you can take, close your eyes and listen, feel the whisper in your soul. Love is all around you, making every shadow whole. You are never alone. Lift your spirit high. Angels walk beside you, spreading wings across the sky. Every tear that falls is carried into light. You are never alone. Love will hold you through the night. Every step is guided, every prayer is heard. Heaven sings around you in each gentle word. Signs are all around you, in the breeze, the stars above. Every moment reminds you you're surrounded by pure love. You are never alone. Lift your spirit high. Angels walk beside you, spreading wings across the sky. Every tear that falls is carried into light. You are never alone. Love will hold you through the night. Feel the light inside you, glowing like the sun. Every fear is fading, your new day has begun. Hand in hand with heaven, you will always find peace within the silence. Love that never leaves behind. You are never alone. Lift your spirit high. Angels walk beside you, spreading wings across the sky. Every breath you take is filled with endless grace. You are never alone. Love is here in every place.
Welcome back. I have to say, I love that song and I play it so much. It's such a great reminder for us to know that we're never alone, right? When you feel alone, play that over and over and may you find comfort from that. What I wanted to do now is, like I mentioned earlier, is I want to take you through a process that can help you to become in the present moment. Because when you are feeling the loss of your loved one, that and grieving, that's a big part of what people long for. So when you're present, then that can help you to become aware of what your loved ones are doing and bringing you signs and messages. What I want to do right now this time is if you're driving, please don't do this, by the way. So if you're not, then get yourself in a comfortable position and uncross your arms and uncross your legs. And I'm going to give you guided things to do. And then just do that. And then I will talk after about why I said what I said. Sound good? And if you're driving, then you can come back to this episode and play it when you are in a space that you don't have to focus. Okay, let's get started. So what I want you to do is, this process is to help you get into the present moment. So sit in a comfortable position, no arms crossed, no legs crossed, no ankles crossed. Be very comfortable. Don't have any distractions around you. Get very relaxed, comfortable. Move your shoulders. I feel some tight shoulders there. Just move them. Move your body if you have to, just to get it adjusted to a comfortable space. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's take in some deep, deep breaths in. So breathe in and breathe out. Okay, let's do that 3 times, okay? So breathe in and breathe out. One more time, okay? One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so what I want you to do now is look right ahead and straight ahead. Don't take your neck and move it up or to the side, because you want to be in a position where you're comfortable and you're going to look at this spot the whole time that I'm speaking. Okay? So find a comfortable position and look right ahead. Doesn't matter what you're looking at, just you're going to look at that spot the entire time I'm doing this process with you. Okay? You got the spot? Straight ahead. Now, as you look at that spot, I want you to focus on the color, focus on the texture. If there's anything that stands out about that spot, all I want you to do is focus on that spot. Okay, keep focusing on it. You're doing great. While you're looking at that same spot, what I want you to do now is I want you to keep focusing on that same spot and check in and see if you smell anything. Okay, what do you smell? Just keep that in your mind. Keep looking at that spot. Okay, good job. You did great. All right, keep looking at that spot. Don't move your eyes. And keep becoming aware of what you're smelling. Now what you're also going to do is be aware of what you hear. What sounds do you hear? And I'll give you some time to do that. For the purposes of this being on a show, you can take what I'm telling you and you can add more time to this. You can do this every day. But for now, I'm kind of going a little quicker just because we're doing a show, right?
So I want you to keep focusing on that spot. And I want you to keep focusing on what you smell, if anything. And at the same time, focusing on what you hear. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to add the sensation of taste. So do you taste anything? But keep in mind, you're still becoming aware of what you hear and smell, and don't take your eyes off that spot. So do you taste anything? Just so you know, every answer that you have, whether you taste something or you don't, the answers are all right. And I'll explain that in a few minutes. That's one that we don't have to spend a lot of time getting you to check that. So the next thing you're going to do is keep focusing on that spot. If you smell anything or hear anything, and maybe you taste something all of a sudden will maybe come that you taste. But now what I want you to do is I want you to feel what the temperature is like around you. Is the temperature warm? Is it cold? Is it cool? Or is there a breeze? Or maybe it's just everyday normal temperature. Check in with that now. You're doing a great job. Now what you're going to do is you're going to keep looking at the spot on the wall. Don't move your eyes. And be aware if you smell anything. Be aware if you hear anything or taste anything. And watch the temperature around you. Now I want you to see if you feel anything in your body. For example, do you feel maybe a pressure or tingling, maybe on your head, or your shoulders, or your arm, or your hands, maybe on your legs, on your lap, maybe? Just check your whole body and see if you feel a tingling, pressure, or maybe a temperature change around certain areas, or something feels different. Okay, pressure, temperature, sensations. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to do that now. You can take your eyes off of that spot you've been looking at, shake your arms and your feet, and just come back to me now. Okay, while you're doing that, I want to explain to you what we were going through. So we're going through this process to get you in the present moment. And you may or you may not have been smelling something. And if you did, what was it that you were smelling? And was it your everyday smells in the house that maybe you had been cooking or burnt something? Or was it something that you smelled that was unusual? For example, I shared how my grandpa Buck always would come to me and I'd smell smoke, right? So
Did you start smelling smoke and as we were going through this process and wonder where'd that come from? Or did you perhaps smell perfume that wasn't normally in your air? Whatever was different, if you had that happen, that sensation happening of a smell, that is a loved one coming to you. So you want to be mindful of that, right? So a lot of times, like smoking is one that people smell smoke, perfume, cigars, baking, homemade cookies, like different things like that. Or if their loved one loved to fish, maybe they can smell like fish. There's all kinds of different ways you can have the sensation of the smell. So be mindful of that. And then the next one was hear. So with hearing, sometimes you can hear bells. What happens with me, the level I'm at, I can actually hear angel bells and chimes, and I can hear the other side because I've been there. I can connect to that and I can feel that energy of that. But I can also hear the sounds where my loved one would be happiest in their space. So if they like to be in outdoors, I could hear the birds or I could hear chirping, but it wasn't outside my door. It was in my room, and it only started when I started getting present. So be mindful of what you're hearing, and then you can think about, okay, what does that sound remind me of? Who does it remind me of? Okay. Now taste is something that a lot of people don't experience, but if you had, say, a loved one that baked or cooked and they always burnt the food you had to eat, that could be, and burnt taste could be your loved one's cooking. Okay. Again, this is not really, I would say, many people have a sensation of taste with the other side, and I do not, just so you're aware of. So be mindful of that one, but everyone's different. Now, the next one we talked about was feel. The temperature, I asked you, what did the temperature feel? If you feel the temperature cool or cold or a breeze, that is somebody with you. And I think I mentioned it in the first half, is that I am always cold, no matter what time of the year. And in the wintertime, I've got our furnace set at 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm still really cold and wrapped in blankets. It's because I've got so many of my loved ones here, and as well as my pets. And all the clients I work with, I have their loved ones with me, and I have their pets come to me as well, and future ones that are coming. So it can be quite cool in my space. And being at 78 degrees still makes me feel cold. Okay, so if you feel cold, that is another sign for you. All right. Now, I asked you, did you feel tingling or if you felt pressure? A lot of times your loved one will have their hands on you. They will have their hands on wrapped as a hug, or just, pressure, but it's not painful. It's just a pressure. You know something is there, let's say. Or you can feel tingling, because you can feel their energy, right? So those are some ways that you can experience your loved one. But that's how you get in the present moment. The more that you do this, and practice and do this every day, you'll find that you'll get better at it and you'll be able to focus more. You might want to be putting on some soft music or burn a candle, but you want to make sure your space is quiet when you're doing this, okay? Because, you don't want to have the distractions, because you want to be very focused when you do this. And I can remember being a young mom, and the only place I found that I could get the quiet time was in the bathroom. And it was my time. So for any of you that have young children, that might be your spot. You might want to go. And you can do this process anywhere from 5 minutes to as long as you want. If you're having experiences happening, you could be doing it for half an hour, but it's limitless. It doesn't harm you in any way. It's just helping you to become present and connect. And you'll get better with this. Now, if you find that, everything that I've said to you today, or this experience, that you are longing to connect with your loved one, you are concerned about how are they with you, maybe you've got questions you want to ask, hey, connect with me through my website and we'll set up a time to chat and I will give you their messages. I'm here to help you the biggest thing that people struggle with is my loved one okay? Or do they have messages for me? So once they understand that, it brings them peace and comfort, and it helps them to move forward because they know their loved ones at their side helping them. So just know that I am here for you. And again, my website is asksuelondon.com. That's AskSuelondon.com. And you'll see on my website, there's meditations for you and your pets. There is a healing membership. There is Insight Timer. I'm a teacher on there as well. And you can get linked into that to get meditations, guided meditations for you and your pet. So there's lots of stuff on there. So check all that out. We have had a longer show than normal, but I wanted to give you this tool to help you kick off the new year and feeling empowered and know that you're never alone and that you have so much support around you, and talk to them and know that they are there to help you. So tell them what it is you need. Sound good? All right. I am so grateful that you joined me today, and I'm really excited and grateful that you are part of my community here. That's it for, I guess, it's 2025. Oh my gosh, this has been such a busy year. They say that when you get older, time goes faster. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week and in a new year. All the best for the holiday. Please remember this. You are not alone. You are surrounded by so much love. You are surrounded by your loved ones and your ancestors and pets and so many angels. So you're never, ever alone. So please always remember that and play this episode again if you need to have that reminder. I love you. I thank you for joining me. I'm Sue London, and I want to wish you so much love and many blessings. Have a great week.